Bayley is back. The former women's champion makes her surprise return at SummerSlam last night alongside two former NXT superstars. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. And SummerSlam was last night, and man, did the event kick off with a bang when it comes to the women's division in WWE, because Bayley is back in WWE after making her return last night at SummerSlam. Of course, Bayley has been sidelined since July of last year, nearly a full calendar year after she tore her ACL. Bayley is back. Now, the injury initially had occurred during training at the Performance Center. This was actually prior to WWE returning back to the road and competing in front of live audiences once again. They were training in the Performance Center by a Vince McMahon mandated training, and she tore her ACL in a freak accident, and she's been on the shelf since, but now she is back. Now, the former Raw Women's Champion wasn't the only one to make her return at SummerSlam, as former WWE superstar Dakota Kai, former NXT superstar Dakota Kai, also appeared with Bayley. Now, this was quite significant because Dakota Kai was actually released by WWE earlier this year on right at the end of April 29th to be specific, but she wasn't alone either, because alongside Bayley, alongside Dakota Kai was Io Shirai. Shirai would make her return alongside Bayley and Kai. Now, Shirai has not been seen inside of a WWE ring since WrestleMania 38 weekend, when she competed in a fatal four-way match against Mandy Rose, Cora Jade, Kaylee Ray, now known as Alba Fire, at NXT Stand and Deliver. Bayley, Kai, and Shirai would head to the ring to confront WWE Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair after she retained her title against Becky Lynch. Now, Lynch then returned to the ring to give Belair backup, but Bayley and her teammates would retreat afterwards. Lynch and Belair shook hands after the match, implying that Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair are now on good terms. They've earned each other's respect. Maybe Becky Lynch is once again going to be a babyface on the Raw Women's brand, or maybe, just maybe, this could be all a big swerve, and maybe Becky Lynch, Bayley, Io Shirai, and Dakota Kai could be a new dominating faction on Monday Night Raw. Keep an eye out for that one. But we have some extra details regarding these returns and a name change for Io Shirai. So as I mentioned, Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Shirai made their returns in the match where Bianca Belair defended her Raw Women's Championship against Becky Lynch. Now, there are several backstage updates about the return of Bayley, Kai, and Shirai. I love that rhyme, by the way. Now, Io Shirai's got a name change as well. She'll be going by the new name of Io Sky, according to PW Insider. Now, according to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, Sky's contract was set to expire soon, and there had been no creative plans for her in NXT after her injury. There was the report by Dave Meltzer a couple of weeks ago, saying that she was expected to leave WWE and move back to Japan. Now, Io Shirai, or Sky, whatever the name is, came out and said, no, that's not true, and really disputed Dave Meltzer's report, leading to a lot of ridicule for Meltzer on social media, which will only increase with her appearance last night. Now, WWE officials couldn't confirm a new contract had been signed beyond saying it appears so in regards to her appearing last night. Now, logic, and this is me speculating here, but logic would suggest if Io Shirai is appearing at SummerSlam on camera, on the main roster, in a big angle to open the show, chances are she signed a new WWE contract. If her contract is set to expire in the coming weeks, why would WWE put her on the main roster? Why would they put her on television just for her to go to Japan? That, to me, makes no sense, so I would agree with what those reports are saying. It appears that she has signed a new deal. Now, Shirai, as I mentioned, hadn't been seen since NXT Stand and Deliver during WrestleMania weekend. As far as Bayley, she has been training recently at the WWE Performance Center and flatbacks for weeks in preparation for her return to the ring, according to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, as she made that recovery from her torn ACL. Now, regarding Dakota Kai and her return to WWE in general, of course, this wasn't a case of her getting called up. This is her returning to the company. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select also reported that Kai was a name that several people in the company thought Triple H would make a priority to bring back, since he is now in the head of the not only talent relations department but also creative. Again, this is the guy really truly with ultimate power in WWE. He decides who is going to be hired and fired, and he also decides who is going to be booked on television, what angles, what role they're going to have going forward. And Dakota Kai, she was a Triple H project in NXT. We saw her develop development under Triple H in NXT, the heel turn, the partnership with Raquel Gonzalez or Rodriguez. Now, it was shocking when she was released. It was shocking that she got called up for all of these dark matches under the Vince McMahon regime, and basically he said, no, I don't really see it. And a lot of people were shocked by that, and when she was released, people said at the time, wow, if Triple H was here, maybe that wouldn't happen. Now that Triple H is in charge, not only is she back, but she's on the main roster, and she's part of the angle in the opening of SummerSlam, one of the biggest events of the year. It's a big deal. Now, before she was released in April, Kai had several main roster looks. As I mentioned, Vince McMahon, Bruce Pritchard, that brain trust shook their head at all of them. There were talks with AEW. The AEW talks were said to have never really moved past an introduction, though, so they didn't get very deep, and it wasn't a case of she was about to sign an AEW deal. That was never the case. It was also noted by Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select that this new stable of Bayley, Sky, and Kai was actually pitched quite a while ago, and it was even before Dakota Kai was released in April. Vince McMahon had reportedly rejected the idea, though, but there were other versions of that stable pitched that included Kaylee Ray and Raquel Rodriguez, easy for me to say, but none of them made it past Vince McMahon's rejection. So, in closing, great to see Bayley back. I think a lot of people expected to see her back last night. I certainly didn't. They're desperate for it in the women's division. It looks like it would appear involved in this Raw Women's Championship match. They're going to be on the Raw roster. I would argue they're probably more needed on SmackDown, but they had the SmackDown Women's Championship match last night, so that is what that is. Thrilled to see Dakota Kai back in WWE. When we spoke about her a couple of weeks ago, I said it was crazy that Vince McMahon didn't see anything in her. I just did not get it. I just did not understand that part of it. I don't know why. Some people were saying that's because she's maybe slightly older, but look at her work. She did in NXT. She was tremendous. And this is going to be the first, this is really truly the first instance of what this Triple H era is going to look like. Those people over the course of the last 18 months that you feel have been wronged, or those people that you think, man, why didn't they do anything with them? Or Vince McMahon, why hasn't he seen something in these talents? For years and years, we've been complaining, I know I have, about talents you get attached to. You see them do great work in NXT. They get called up to the main roster and they get changed. Their entrance music gets changed. Their gimmick gets changed. Or any success they had in NXT gets changed and thrown away, and we're told not to care about them. And then they wonder why they can't get over. The reason they can't get over is because what they were doing that got them over in the first place, you took away from them. That's going to change now. So I think it's a really exciting time. Those names that we liked from the black and gold era of NXT that we never thought got an opportunity on the main roster. Dakota Kai, great example. She's getting our opportunity. Io Shirai, who should have been on the main roster a long time ago, and the concern would have been at the time, like with someone like Shinsuke Nakamura, like with Kairi Sane, when you go, well, they can't really cut a good promo in English that much, and they've got a bit of an accent, so Vince McMahon doesn't like them. Triple H doesn't care about that, and that's important. What is important is their ability to get over, their ability to work in the ring, their ability to entertain, and that's what Io Shirai can do. I will hold her work up against anyone on the main roster, and now that we've got a situation where she can face off on the main roster against Bianca Belair, against Becky Lynch, against Ronda Rousey, against Charlotte Flair when she comes back again. But those matches are exciting. Against Alexa Bliss. There's the list is endless of names and great matches that she can have against talent. So I'm really excited for that. Really great way to open the show last night. And Bayley being back is just fantastic because she has been missed. She really has been missed. So what are your thoughts on this new faction? What are your thoughts on the new faction of Bayley, Io Shirai, and Dakota Kai? What are your thoughts on Dakota Kai's return to WWE? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to like and subscribe to Wrestling News 365, and I'll speak to you again very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.